Hey y'all, Dina from the Fruitful Fig, and I just wanted to show you some stuff from my garden. This is my birdhouse gourd. It's looking pretty. It's got a little bit of dying leaves up on them tops, but the bottoms look good. And I got another one on here. He's not as big. Still pretty good size though. I'd say like 3 or so inches. This is basil that's going to seed. Basil, blackberries that come up over this trellis. And if you see all these are radish seeds. And they're all different colors, but I'll get back to them in a minute. This is sage. There's some sage back there. Some more basil. Another blackberry that don't have a trellis yet. Bunch more basil and some sage in between it. But these, I've never let radishes go to seed before. So this is new for me. Let's see. Here's some. They laid down because we got a big storm. But you can see how these got a little more red on them. I think these red ones are more mature, because they feel like they're getting drier. Oh, I got a few carrots in there too. Let's see if I can get that pulled. See if I can open this up for you. One-handed holding the camera. There we go. Let's see what we got. Alright, there it is. I got it open. This one's got 5 seeds in it. All I did was crack it open. I think you could go even longer. I think you let them dry until you can hear them rustling about in the pods, and then they're dry. But I think you could replant them at this stage. So I'd say there's probably like 60 pods or more. They're all down through here. They're all across through there. They're over here. There's a few down there. That blackberry's looking so pretty. We thought it was dead because a cat got over here and dug down in my bed, but it made a recovery. I'm happy about that birdhouse gourd. First time I've ever grown it. And I'm excited to save seed from these. Look how pretty these flowers are. So I started this plant from this one, was the original, and it was from a piece like this size. Just one little piece. It had this little long, see how this has got a long tendril on it. And I stuck it in the pot. This was like, this might be 2 years since. Maybe a year and a half, but I think 2 years since. This one here, let me get it down. This is my mum. And I overwintered it in the house. I saved it off the sale rack for like, I don't know, maybe 50 cents or something. There's 2 of them in there. But, I saved them in the house. And the ones that were in the house looked like they wasn't going to make it. So I took a couple cuttings, started some more. So I got these 2. And they've just been fending for themselves out here. I don't really water them. I just got them sitting up here on my ladder. Got some peppermint and some marigolds. And this peppermint, I don't know, it must have got too hot because there's only a couple little sprigs of it. And it's hard to kill peppermint. And I stuck a new one of those down there that I accidentally broke the other day. That's a basil and a 2 loofahs, but them loofahs or that basil doesn't like this location. It's too hot in the evenings. It's an elderberry that I bought. I ain't got no berries off of it yet, but I got it from the Amish store up in Spencer. I've wanted one for a while. Was supposed to get a cutting from a friend like 2 years ago, but I'm still waiting on that cutting, so I got one. This is stinging nettle. I need to probably trim off the seeds and stuff. See, it's got seeds on the top. It's got new growth coming on. You can use stinging nettle for all kinds of stuff medicinally. I don't know if you can see them or not. I don't know if it's focusing. It's a pretty plant. These are weeds. This is a raspberry or a blackberry one. I can't remember. I think it's a raspberry though, because its leaves are fuzzy. That's a blueberry that I bought out of the box. A couple years back I thought it was dead, but this year it got a couple leaves on it, so that's about all it did, but at least it's still alive, so maybe next year it'll do better. The aphids have messed up my roses, but there are some beautiful ones on here now. Japanese beetles, whatever. I got this rose for my anniversary. 1 year Eugene got this for us. I think it was like maybe our first anniversary. Look how pretty that is. This, I'm not sure. It's some kind of mint. It's either a lemon balm or a bee balm, maybe. I'm not sure. If you know what it is, leave a comment below. I planted several things in the backyard, around the back porch, and I moved one little sprig up here to the front. Well, it got out of the pot that it was in and ended up in the yard. So I have this, and when it gets over my sidewalk too much, I just jerk some out, pull it out. Like this is going over the end, but it don't matter. It's not bothering me. I gotta go through here. I pulled some weeds already, but pulling weeds is never done. This is lamb's ear. I haven't used any of it yet, but it has spread out. It's getting bigger. My coneflowers. I need to pick them for some tinctures. And let's see here. This is I chopped the end of this blackberry. I trimmed some leaves too the other day. It needs a stake in it. This is my mulberry tree. I trimmed a bunch off it yesterday, which is down there. I just left it as mulch. These here are flowers. I forget what they're called. I got a bunch of them, a whole bucket full. But they get pretty flowers on them. And I just put one little thing in there that I've had laying over there by the ladder, just to see if it would still grow, and it's put on all these new plants. So I guess this is a bucket for it now. These are starting to put on flowers. I don't know what they're called. It's kind of like a rubbery type plant. I got another one right here. It's the same plant. I just separated it out earlier in the season. But it's getting these little flowers on it, which are beautiful when they're dry. I mean, they're beautiful when they're not dry too, but you can dry them. This is comfrey, I think. Yeah, I think that's comfrey. I just got it. I got some more in the greenhouse. Yeah, that's definitely comfrey. Because it's fuzzy, like the lamb's ear. But it's a different kind of fuzzy. Because if you see that, look at this. Pretty sure that's what that is. Some mulberries I stuck. My fig and my peppermint. I've picked and picked and picked and picked on peppermint. I ask my husband all the time, I'll be like, you want a piece of gum? Because that's how I eat it. I picked a lot of leaves too, made some jelly. I got one little, that raspberry there. I trimmed off some leaves off of it yesterday because the leaves that were on it looked like they had some kind of rust. So I just trimmed them off. This is a passion flower. Yeah. So first time growing this. I trimmed it yesterday too, trimmed the leaves up. Another peppermint. This is my first time growing this, but it's good for a lot of things medicinally. So I have a couple more at my land that are already planted in the ground. This is an onion or garlic, wild garlic. These are some not so good looking tundra Haskaps. I ordered these online and they came, well, I ordered like 500 plants, but not 500 plants, 100 plants. And so these and the other Haskaps didn't look very good. These, I went through and trimmed all the bad leaves off these yesterday because they did not look too great after shipping. But you can see, I mean, they're not in terrible shape now. I think they'll bounce back after the trip. But these are Jacqueline raspberries. These are Chester blackberries. This in here, I'm not sure if it's going to make it or not. All the leaves were dead on it. But the rest of them look like they'll probably survive. And then these are figs. LSU purple figs. There's a couple of them that look like they might not survive. The rest of them don't look too bad. This is a poinsettia that I overwintered. I actually saved it from the garbage. And it's looking beautiful besides that bug on the top there. It did have some red coming on it, but I took it out of the greenhouse a while ago, and so it's bushing out, and then it'll, yeah, it's doing beautiful. I had two of them, but the other one wasn't doing as good and it didn't make it. But this one, this was free. Let's see what else we got. One beautiful little sunflower. It's tiny. My sunflowers, they started early, so they're already done with for the season. This is comfrey also. I'm still pretty sure that that one over there that I said was comfrey is comfrey. This is a fig. I believe, pretty sure this is a brown turkey fig. I need to clip some leaves from it to make some more stuff. Let's see what else we got. This here, I'm pretty sure this is a lemon balm or something. That's what it tastes like to me. Like more like a lemony fragrance, but I'm not sure. If you know what it is, comment below. Also, this one, I'm pretty sure this one and this one are different. They have the same feel to them. And they smell good. Both of them smell lemony. So, I don't know. Here's some more. There's some fig cuttings there. They're doing pretty nice. A few of them are. Then I don't remember what that is. I think that might be a mulberry. Those there, they've seen better days. My lilies, they're getting some new leaves on them. They got water on their leaves, and they don't like that. They'll come back. there's my grape. It's looking beautiful. It needs to be tied up. Pretty sure this is a Candace grape. Yeah, seedless Candace grape. This is a mango that I started from seed. It's about, I don't know, at least as long as my hand, a little bit taller. So, that's some basil that's, you know, seen better days. And then these are my blueberries. I got Northland blueberry. These look pretty nice. They got some rust on them though. I wasn't expected to have gotten a bunch of rust, but I did. But we'll deal with that. Then these are those Aurora Haskaps. Okay, so if you see these, like I come through and knocked off a bunch of the dead leaves yesterday, but there's still a bunch in there. And these look the poorest out of all of the plants that I got. These and those first ones that I showed you out there, those other Haskaps. See, that's what, this is an Aurora Haskap, and it looks not too bad. So there's like a couple, 2 or 3 that didn't look too bad. I think 2. And then the rest of them looked like garbage. Then we got these Blu-ray blueberries, in which, if you can see, there's flowers back there. And we have already eaten some blueberries. There's some more right here. Yeah. There's some green ones back there. Oh, there's a purple one right there. Let me show it to you. Oh, we got 2. One's ripe, one's not. This is off of the Blu-ray blueberry. Let's see what we think about it. It's very sweet. It's nice. I like it. Even that one that's not, it wasn't ripe, was not too sour. So, these here, which are the Northland blue, they're pretty tall. And these down here, not those. These, the Blue Jay blueberries, they got a lot of green on them, but they don't have any berries. I think I might have maybe seen a berry on 1 or 2, but not many berries. These here are Toro, and they're a little smaller, but they got some berries on them too. A few. And then these are bonus blueberries. And we've eaten a few berries off of them. And these are bonus here, if you can see. I don't know if it's focusing, but there is blueberries all around through there and in the back. And then this is some sage that I didn't plant out, but I'm probably just going to overwinter it in here, and a few other plants too. Probably just going to overwinter them in here and then plant them out next year. So this is lemon balm. I know it's lemon balm because it came out of the lemon balm thing there. The bee balm I planted didn't come up. So my thought is, if I let this continue to grow, and I'm sure it looks sick right now, but just because it's been neglected a little bit, if I let it grow and I figure out what it looks like, I compare it to the ones up front, and I know which one of them is lemon balm. This is some cuttings that I took of the mulberry, the black mulberry. I have a bunch more outside. It's starting to rain. That I already rooted up. These are rooted also. I just hadn't repotted them. But that is a look at my messy greenhouse and all the plants that I got going. Or at least not all of them, some of them. Oh, and let me show you these. So yesterday I had a pepper plant, and I'm pretty sure it was like 41 inches. I might even put the footage in here that I took of it yesterday, or some pictures, but at the end. But this here, I think it was 41 inches to the dirt. From the dirt to the top was 41 inches. And I cut off some. I don't recall how much. But this is a pepper plant. I don't know if you can even tell how big it is. But it's probably like almost 2 feet wide, I'd say. This is the tomato that was in there with it. And then these are some peppers that some of the stalks that we cut off. We cleaned up a bunch so it wouldn't be nothing low. I took them and put them in pots. They're looking kind of droopy. Some of them might make it, some of them might not make it. Also some tomato suckers I took off of that tomato. And then we repotted up our garlic. But I'm excited about this pepper plant here. Those others, it's just to see if they root. If they root, they do. And if they don't, they don't. But this one, I'm excited. Because I don't know what it is, but it's the tallest pepper plant that I've ever grown. 41 inches tall, and I chopped the top. So, like, I'm super excited to see what this produces. And what kind of peppers. Hopefully they're good. Well, anyway, I appreciate you coming to hang out with me. Let me show you my garden of what I got going on. That was just a quick overview. That's just what I have here at the house. Excuse the mess. There's a lot of stuff around. This is the bus that we're working on, by the way. She's 35 feet, I think. We're cleaning her out. We cleaned her out, put a floor in her. We're going to build her out, and we're going to live in this. We're going to live in the bus. We're going to rent the house. Hopefully buy some land. We're in the process of figuring it out right now. So, I got an acre in town. But that acre in town and that acre and a half here is not enough. I need more space. So, all these are going to produce peppers. Can you see, like, down the sides, all this is going to make shoots. This is such a bushy pepper. This tomato was bushy too. I trimmed off most of it and just left the top. That way there wouldn't be nothing near the bottom. But I don't know what kind of tomato it is. I guess we'll just have to see. Well, alright, I guess I'm done. Thanks for hanging out with me. I didn't expect it to be a 23-minute video, but there it is. Alright, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.